Growing up in today's world is a challenge. Does that statement resonate with you at all? See, on the one hand, we have it easier than we ever had before. If you think about the way we were able to grow up, if you grew up just like me in a first world country, then we are super privileged. Think about the abundance of opportunities that we've had. Just the fact that we were able to grow up in peace, that most of our basic survival needs were taken care of. The fact that we have the amount of freedom that we have to create our own path. All of these things are unheard of when you put it in a historical as well as a global context. So life should be really easy, shouldn't it? Well, I believe that a more nuanced perspective on it would be to say that we face different challenges and new challenges from the ones that previous generations have faced. See, it's like previous generations were on this treadmill of survival just to meet their basic survival needs of safety and shelter and food and all of these basic human needs. They were on this treadmill and they just had to keep running, and there was nothing else to do but run, because if you didn't, literally your life depended on it. The interesting thing about our generation today is that this treadmill is somehow slowing down. See, we don't have to run quite as fast to get those basic survival needs met. But that slowing down of that treadmill starts to open up a lot of new challenges. Because in the previous generation, our meaning was derived also from the fact that we were on the run and there was no time to think. Now we have the time to actually think and contemplate some of these bigger questions, like what do I actually want to do with my life? And who am I actually? And what do I want to contribute? And if simply that running of the treadmill stops and we don't replace it with something ourselves consciously and deliberately, then it actually becomes a big struggle. We could say that our basic human needs and the focus on that have replaced themselves with a new layer of needs, the needs for meaning and belonging. And the beautiful thing is that we're now in a position to create our own direction and create our own path with it. And we've been told this, many of us have been told to follow our passion, to start to create our own path. Yet, one of the challenges is that previous generations have not truly done this yet. This is new, and we have not really gained the support to actually do it. We simply don't know what it takes to create our own life in today's world. And that's only one of the many challenges that we face as a generation. See, even though on the one hand that treadmill might be slowing down, in another sense, it's really speeding up as well. If you think about the rate that our technology is evolving, innovation in general, the pace of our society, the interconnectedness, it can all start to feel way too much, that is going way too quick. And with that as well, the bar is set really high for our generation. I don't know if you feel this as well, but it seems that even in our early 20s, we need to have life figured out. That was never the case in the past. You could do your thing and, find your way, and in your 30s and 40s still find your path. Now, if you don't have it done in your early 20s, especially if you're following a higher education, then somehow there's something wrong with you. Somehow you're not really keeping up, you're falling behind. That in combination with the social media that we have and the interconnectedness there, the need to present this external image to the outer world of having everything together and being this successful person, whilst we haven't even had a chance to figure out who we are or what we want to create. That, combined with the fact that our modern resources have become a trap in themselves, right? Because it sounds great to have everything at your fingertips, to have all the food that you want, all the entertainment that you want, and all of this. Yet that actually becomes a trap as well, because these short-term pleasures, these quick fixes, they're great in the beginning, and in a way it's beautiful that we have them. But when we become addicted to them and we don't create a meaningful life around it, then that becomes its own suffering. When we're just stuck in watching Netflix series and social media and consuming food and video games and all of these short-term pleasures, maybe you know as well, I definitely have experienced it for myself, that after a little while you can start to suffer pretty badly just from being stuck in that place. And then I haven't even started about the challenges on a global scale that we're facing. The sustainability challenges, the climate change, the wars, the interconnectedness that we have with all of this, and what it requires of us as a generation to completely reinvent the way we do things, and the upgrade in mental reasoning and empathy that we need for that. So these are just some of the many, many challenges that our generation faces. So, yes, I do believe that we're living in a beautiful time and that we can be really grateful for growing up with all of this abundance and standing on the shoulders of giants. And at the same time, let's not guilt ourselves for facing the many challenges that we do. It's a different game that we're playing this generation. It's a different way that we need to operate, to strategize, to create in order to live a meaningful life. So, for those of you that don't know me yet, let me take a minute to introduce myself. My name is Martin, and I've been on this journey for myself for the past decade. Just about exactly 10 years ago, I became an adult at the age of 18. And since then, I've been mostly on my own, creating my own path. And I've fallen into the many traps that this generation faces, the challenges that I've just discussed. And at the same time, I've spent a lot of my time actually consciously creating my life, learning about personal development, personal growth, spirituality, creating my own career, and really just creating my own path. And what's really exciting for me now is that I've come to the point where I feel like I'm really ready to share. Over the past years, I've already been on this mission to support the next generation to create their reality. And I've done workshops and talks and coaching with over 1,000 people from our generation, and have been able to deeply see the challenges and hear and start to see what it takes in my own life and in the people around me. And now I'm in this position to not sit here and speak from a place of having figured it all out. Not at all. I'm still very much on this journey myself. And at the same time, I do feel like I have a lot to offer, and I've stepped into my own leadership and really feel like I want to lead also the next generation in creating this world together. So through this type of content, I love to enable you to start to find your authentic path, to connect to yourself, to start to step into your own creative autonomy and power, to overcome the challenges of our generation, to start to create a new world together. And I'll start by doing this by sharing these bi-weekly YouTube videos. Right now, I'm actually in the process of creating an awesome course as well. So for now, it will just be bi-weekly videos. on different topics, and I'd love to get your input as well on which topics you'd like me to cover, some of the challenges you're facing at the moment, and based on that, I can start to share some of my own thoughts that will be helpful for you as well. So this has been Martin from Realize. I look forward to creating more of this content, so please do let me know your topics, and I'll see you soon.